Okay, welcome. Thanks for joining us today. Coming up later on the show, as I said earlier, we've got a special guest today, Nightshift. Really excited about that. Going to have a wicked interview with him and a wicked guest mix. For now, I'm going to feature a couple of tracks, one by Nightshift. In fact, I'm lying, two by Nightshift. Going to feature them first, tell you a little bit about them, and then I'm going to go into the mix for about 20 minutes. Then we're going to jump on the sofa, have a little catch up, have a little chat with Nightshift. First one I'm going to play for you, Nightshift, track entitled Move Me, due to be released, I think it's the 6th of August, so that's soon coming. If not, I think it's already here actually, to be fair. That's out on Rennie Levice's label, Device. Let me know what you think of this in the comments. Let's go with this one. Yes, Nightshift, loving this one. Do you know what? That's about all you're going to get of that one. That is, once again, that one's by Nightshift, track entitled Move Me, out on the Device label, which is Rennie Levice's label, for those of you that don't know. If you haven't done it already, get yourself a copy, I suggest. It's a banging tune, man. It's lively, I like it. Bit dark, bit deep. Yeah, that's it, man. That's all I've got to say on that one. I'm not going to play you the whole thing, just a little snippet. Next one I'm going to play for you is Nightshift, featuring the one like Spider on the vocals. Absolutely love this tune. It's a big tune. It's been out a couple of months now, I think. It's let me just think. Dubshotter. It's out on Dubshotter's label. Big up Benny Page every time. Yeah, if you don't know, get to know. Attention, track name on this one, featuring Spider on the vocals with Nightshift on the buttons.
To the left, to the right, to the back.
3, 2, 1.
See we in a day, them see we at night. Reaching at the place with a whole ton of vibes. See we in a day, them see we at night. Nobody not leave, so dance as you like. See we in a day, them see we at night. Reaching at the place with a whole ton of vibes. See we in a day, them see we at night. Nobody not leave, so dance as you like. Them your style and make you want some more. The real underground, you're not that living hardcore. Music come from all like one big time surprise. People see you dancing and see you out of your mind. I show them no know it a the vibe that we like. We not come here figures, we not stand on the side. For music it a play, we come to take it and ride. When the weekend come, we left the whole world behind.
To the left, to the right, to the back, to the side.
Three, two, one.
See we in a day, them see we at night. Reaching at the place with a whole ton of vibes. See we in a day, them see we at night. Nobody not leave, so dance as you like. See we in a day, them see we at night. Reaching at the place with a whole ton of vibes. See we in a day, them see we at night. Nobody not leave, so dance as you like. Baseline penetrate, it's a cheater. Inna your chest make your heart skip a beat. Deep inna the trenches we long for release. Cap on the dance floor that a feel we battlefield. Dance with the king or you dance with your queen. If you don't have one then send for your team. Year after year it a the sound we a seek. Cause anytime we hear it we a move off with feet.
Once again, this one by Nightshift, featuring the one like Spider, in case you couldn't tell. This one a big tune. This one available on Dubshotter's label. Big up Benny Page, like I said earlier. Wicked tune, I love this one, you know, this one is dirty. We're at that point of the show now. I'm gonna go out in the mix for about 20 minutes, have a little rinse out. Once we're done with that, we're gonna step over onto the sofa for an informal chat, a little catch up with a one like Nightshift. Big up Nightshift every time. So that how we do, we're gonna go into the mix. If you're locked on, drop us a little comment, give us a little love art, give us a little like, give us a little share, do all them nice things to make the music perpetuate. I think I said that right. Anyway, let's go.
Now this is the original ganja smoking urban hustling sensimate smuggling robber roughneck West strike much pine beat lighting spliff top cat passing through. Bigging up DJ Garry J. Watcher. Member check him out www.garryg.co.uk. Welcome to all the boy them say. After we win the sound cycle as the champion DJ, you never bother them, send you respect. I show we bust up the dance and we mash down the place and I pay a dub plate where we make. When me say let me tell them this. If I float it, think we float the sound clash. We have a drawing and a step show, we're well versatile and we are job for the English cat and we're telling someone. You're telling about what do you talk? This Garry G man will stop and get down someone. You're telling about what do you talk? This Garry G man will stop and get darker. Joe is a somewhere down rock and show over. Joe mistakes and not checks so we suffer. Disrespect and try for some marker. We get back so we start get dark. Argument done and the sound glass starter. Joke with up and joke you like a them poison daughter. Chop up your sound left it on the sidewalk. We so you get for those so that's when I skylark. So boy, may you tell them about what do you talk? This Garry G man will stop and get dark. So boy, may you tell them about what do you talk? This Garry G man will stop and get Garry Garage is the best and the greatest, and in the need for chuck it and big up inches. In a film show, so the boy can't step. They back the garage another instant that you wear topper. When you see the garage, you talk to him proper. I will run things both side of the border. Test the garage another murder. I'ma tell him, I'm not any boy garage him would afraid of. This is Mr. Cat, the DJ, never done. And the devil pass you dance up and ram. So John this massive, you fit push up your hand. I take it from the cat, from the mic up on the stand. I with the lyrics on my mouth and the mic in my hand. I went time for pass dance all up and ram. So all of the junglers up and come China. I'ma tell him, I'ma tell him, I'ma tell him. On the road boy, you tell them not for what on your talk. This garage man will stop and get top. So boy, you tell them not for what show you talk. This garage man will stop and get.
Big son.
this seriously.
look so tough now.
Scared to take a chance in the game.
Hype shit, blow up a mic shit. You might get beat the fuck up in broad daylight with a nightstick.
Fucking heavy, you know. Madman, it's wicked. Like this, you know, madman, this wicked, 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 wicked. Ignited really fucking heavy, you know. Madman, this wicked.
Okay, before we get started, you know it's that moment when you got to think to yourself, it's always a pleasure to be back in the mecca of music, sun and bass. Somebody make some noise.
see you dress up in a boom, 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 boom. Love how you wanna push them right in music. Let it show my selector. Nightshift, funky blur, Garry G. Watch the bomb. Update special. This one going out to all the girls around the world. Party boom, boom, some gangsta boom, party boom. Let me see your chest up in a boom, 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 boom. Love how you wanna push them right in music. Let it show my selector.
information, go to www.garryg.co.uk. That is www.garryg.co.uk.
Right, do you know what? I really enjoyed that. What can I say? I love getting up here. I love being a part of this. It's absolutely wicked. I want to big up Nightshift because we're about to go into the interview with him. Check us down there on the sofa in just 2 seconds. Right, I hope you enjoyed that little mini mix I did. As promised, I've got a special guest on the sofa today, and I'm really pleased and excited to bring him to you. He is a multi-award winning artist. Do you know what? He's Nightshift, and here he is.
Hey.
Welcome to the show, mate. Thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you very much for having me down, Gary. Really enjoyed that. Thank you so much.
No, that's cool, man. That's cool. I'm looking forward to the guest mix we're going to do in a little while.
Yeah.
And yeah, do you know what? We've got a lot to talk about because do you know what? Let's try and start off in some sort of chronological order, if I can say that right.
Yeah.
So, growing up for you.
Yeah.
You obviously, like you say, you're from sort of West London, Ealing Way, that sort of them sort
bred.
of sides.
Yeah, West London.
What was the moment when you kind of found this music and thought, do you know what, I love this? Why are we not sitting here listening to pop music, and why are you now a D&B head?
I think the moment I found, my mate bought a DJ Hype tape in to school. It was a Desire tape. It was him and Fearless, and we listened to it. He was like, listen to this music. My brother listens to jungle, drum and bass, and I'm like, what is that? So we're in our English class, and we've got the headphones up our sleeve like that, and I just fell in love with it instantly. I actually remember an LSD Remark and Fearless tune that he played. It goes, "The killer is dead." Do-do-dum-dum. I could sing that all day long. No one's going to ever know. Hopefully Remark and that will. But it got reloaded 3 times, and I first time I ever heard the drums, ever heard something in a club environment, I just didn't. It just hit me all at once.
So that was it for when you was at school.
From when I was at school, yeah.
So that because we're a similar age.
Yeah.
Although you wouldn't believe to look at us.
Yeah. That is in our late 20s.
That's so. What was your sort of musical inspirations? Was you? How did your parents like?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? When you was getting into
when
music.
I was playing jungle drum and bass at home, I mean, my dad is a well-to-do jazz guitarist. My mum plays the piano. So when I turned up and I was like, I love. I don't know, at the time it was like True Players or whatever, and I turn up with all this vinyl. They're like, what is going on here? This isn't music. So I had to battle with them for years. Like although they wanted to be supportive, that I don't think they saw much, especially with me droning on about it for years and years and years. I used to bunk off school, save up all my dinner money, and then go to Vinyl Mania at the top of our school, and I did it so much that I got caught so many times that they ended up just giving me my work experience in there. And that's how I started working in there. That's when I first started to figure out decks and learn things, and for me it was just a great experience. I knew straight away I was addicted to jungle music, especially. I loved all the samples. I didn't really know where it all came from. I actually thought it was just the music. I didn't know that producers took things from here, there and everywhere and then put it into what is jungle drum and bass, you know what I mean? For me, I'd never change any of that. I loved it without knowing what it was. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And from then it just escalated. Really.
So that was obviously in your sort of teens, when you first
16,
kind of got into
17,
it.
I think. Yeah.
And then, but so you weren't always a drum and bass and a jungle producer, was you?
No, I wasn't. So in West London, it was more people wanted to listen to garage and speed garage, but I was really into all of that dance music and garage, especially around where I lived. It was Ice FM was up the road, Freeze FM was up the road.
Yeah, you've still got Corrupts
Life,
in ya?
yeah, Corrupts in Brentford, yeah. Yeah, them guys doing really well. I actually live in Brentford now as well. I love that place. But yeah, so I got into garage, but I was listening to the weird garage. So I'd listen to Wookie, obviously, but all the broken stuff that he made. Agent X. I was into more of the heavier bassline stuff. I'd listen to Zinc. He probably wouldn't call it garage. I don't know, or breaks, to be fair, because I thought it was breakbeat. All that old Zinc stuff. Dennis the Menace that Hype used to do. There was a label called Vehicle Records. I used to play that a lot, and that was as I was getting into stuff. And also Decline, I Don't Smoke the Reefer. That was for me how I bridged what we were making, because how I bridged what we were making, because we didn't actually know, especially when my first mate first started making breakbeat. I was listening to him, and we turn up. We didn't have a name for it. It wasn't garage, but it wasn't the bassliney garage that we listened to. It was just, it had more drums, it had more of a break in it, and them times were exciting times, just because we didn't really know what we were doing. Do you know what I mean?
Experimenting, isn't it?
Experimenting, taking samples, listening to what we had already. You know, I wasn't even at a stage of making music by that point, so that came on later on in my life. When I went to community music.
Yeah.
That is a college in London, where my best mate went to actually, and I met my first ever production partner, and we went on to, our first assignment went on to get played, got played by Annie Mac on Radio 1.
Yeah, I remember you said about that.
Yeah, so she played it, and then from there we went and DJ'd everywhere. I was playing at Glastonbury, and I think I was about, if I can remember correctly, I was about 23.
So that was that first production that you did then, that tune.
Our college assignment.
College assignment that got played on Radio 1. That was like the breaking, defining moment for you. That's what launched your career.
Within breaks, I guess.
Yeah.
And at that time, the music, it wasn't new, but what we were making of it. So, like any scene, there's loads of different types of styles. Our one was more slowed down drum and bass, because that's where we came from, basically. And then ever since that started kicking off, we were like the forefront of the producers. We were in Mix Mag, we toured the world, we went to Australia, we went to America, we went to Russia, France, Hungary, just playing headline shows, doing that kind of stuff.
You mentioned a minute ago about Glastonbury as well.
Glastonbury,
that's a huge thing, isn't it?
I had, that's massive for me. So Annie Nightingale got me down to play on a Thursday night. No other tents were open.
Yeah.
I had Noel Gallagher standing next to me, or Noel, or Liam, I can't remember which one it was. But he was just necking loads, he was just getting on it, basically. And I was just like, what is going on with my life? I just didn't, it was so, I wish I embraced it more. Do you know what I mean? It was just young, we were young.
I suppose when you're at that point, it's just all surreal, isn't it?
It's mad.
It's happening, but you don't actually realise what's happening until you get a bit older and you stand back.
Yeah, and you get to appreciate it. That music went off massively in Spain. In the south of Spain, I played so many festivals.
So we're sort of talking early 2000s?
Early 2000s, 2008, 2010. I actually, I was on echolocation. A guy called Joe Oakley and Obi, they were both looking after me. They put me on as the warm-up DJ on the Hold Your Colour Pendulum tour. So I did like seven gigs. So that's like one of the best things I've ever done in my life, that was. So I played before, Pendulum would play, and then Chasing Status would play after. And me and Saul used to get on the bus and go up to these gigs around around England. It was
That's sick, mate. That's
one
really
of the most
wicked.
amazing times, man.
Oh.
I actually wore that. Joe Oakley gave me a pendulum jacket, and I wore it religiously for years. And I was like, I'm going to make drum and bass one day. I'm going to make drum and bass one day. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's always been a thing that I really wanted.
So going back, you obviously you won. What did we say? 3 awards.
I've won 3 awards. One is for remixing Carl Cox. Now, I don't know how many people in the world have done that.
Come on, man.
But I've done it, and
even if you don't like dance music,
yeah.
you've heard of Carl Cox.
Carl
haven't
Cox,
you? Come
yeah.
on.
It's surreal doing that as well, you know. It's definitely a highlight of my life. I got a private message from him where he was dancing around the racing track to my remix.
Yeah.
Which was fantastic. I might even do a drum and bass mix of it one day. I've got all the stems at home, so. But that's something I did. I've remixed the Freestylers, won an award. I've remixed Crafty Cuts. Just all those legends, man. It feels like an absolute and it is an absolute lifetime ago. But
it's not though, really.
Yeah.
I mean, how many years are you talking ago?
2000, in between 2010, 2018, for just that.
It's not. I know it feels like
a lifetime, but it's not.
Yeah, and it's not that, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I'd never take those years back, you know. Like, I don't think some of the situations I ended up in, Jesus. But I've always searched for that. I've always looked for that. There was a point where I could have written house music and been a house producer, but I think me making jungle drum and bass, I've just really flourished with it. Like, it's taken me a while, but I'm slowly getting into my sound. I'm making music that I love, that I'm passionate about, especially now more than ever. I do cater sometimes for the club environment, and I will get more into that sound as I progress. But most of my tunes have vocals, they've got soul, they've got live instruments, they've got dirty bass lines, you know, like, it's a lot of the wider audience, and not just one capacity can connect with what I'm doing, I think, at the moment.
Well, you know,
which is fantastic.
Obviously we've been in the studio together, and it's not,
Yeah.
I've seen how you work.
Yeah.
You make it look easy. You know you make it look
Yeah,
easy,
yeah.
And then, like I say, you've got amateurs like me watching on, thinking, oh, you know, how's he doing that? That's the speed that you work at, the quality of the production that you're doing at the minute is just.
I think all of that stuff, the
another
way
level.
it's like that, it's because of preparation. I've just sat round making all the kicks, making all the snares, selecting all the breaks. So when people come in and I do tunes with them, it's just easier to get that desired effect.
Yeah.
I've sat there and I've made loads of serum bass sounds, slowly getting into that, what's that other synth that TC always bangs about? Can't remember it at the minute, but yeah, I'm just like, you know, just all of it. I've just religiously done everything with a passion every single day. Do you know what I mean? I can't get enough of writing music. It doesn't, to be fair, jungle drum and bass is my passion, but I could write any other music. Recently, 3 weeks ago, I was working on an Ellie Goulding record, and I got a bunch of parts on there. So I'm doing loads of different stuff. I've grown up with people like TMS, Sigma, Gorgon City, and people like that. So I've always come from, you know, all those other because they're all breakbeat guys. All of those guys, they started off there and they slowly worked their way up. And that's basically what I'm doing now. I feel like the music is doing the talking now.
Yeah. So when you was supporting Pendulum,
Yeah.
was that what was you playing? Was that breakbeat that you was
That was
playing?
breaks, yeah.
Yeah. So
and that was because that was before dubstep come around. Because when dubstep come around, it just demolished, especially over here, just wiped out the scene completely. I mean, breaks didn't keep up with the currentness. Plus, dubstep came in, and it was all them screechy, massive basses that no one knew what was going on or how to do it, and it just wiped it out, really. It had more, for me personally, as even though I love breaks and I made it for years, it didn't have that bass element, that thing I always chased.
Yeah.
And I think now in my music, it's slowly coming about, especially with just having them dance floor smashers, you know, like. It's
I mean,
just, yeah.
Do you know what? Like it or love it, dubstep definitely did have an impact on the scene that we know now.
Today,
Like I say, it's not everyone's cup of tea. It's
but it's the original dubstep, the original guys, the Scream, the Bengers, the Caspers, you know what I mean? That production there, that production for me is spot on, man.
Yeah.
And, you know, like I was in a studio block in West London. Around that time, it was me, Casper, Crust and Wookie, all into, and some guys called Jaded as well, and my mate Modulizer, were all in this one block. You know, I was saying it's a little bit like this environment, and we'd all just be getting up, making tunes. Most of us didn't even go home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We just lived that life of making music, and it was a great time to be around. I learnt so much from everyone. You know, like you've got Casper playing dubstep, Cross making drum and bass, and I was making breaks, and literally in the little tiny set. It was wicked.
That's epic, mate.
I absolutely loved it.
Crust is he's a legend, isn't he?
Absolutely, man.
Big producer.
What a lovely guy.
Yeah,
what a lovely guy. I learned so much from those guys.
So that's where we're at. We've covered the awards. We've covered you sort of growing up and where you come into the music.
Yeah.
We've touched on breakbeat, and obviously, like we said about playing Glastonbury and all over the world, which is just such a huge thing.
Glastonbury, all those festivals, man.
And then, was it at the point when you was supporting Pendulum? Is that when you really thought to yourself, then, do you know what? I want to change direction.
No, I think that the change of direction came when, because I'm quite a loyal type of person. I think the change of direction came when I started doing the music. There was 30 of us. By the end of it, it was just me, and that's what it felt like, because everyone had grown up, got their jobs, and done whatever. But I was still engineering. I was still out DJing, still getting work, and just one of the last guys to do it, man. Which is a shame. Like next year, I'm playing like 6 times in Spain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Getting sorted out proper, playing festivals, playing music I made that I made in my 20s. You know.
Still getting played.
It still
for that.
gets played. Yeah. It passed through generations and generations, and I'm hoping this is what I'm going to be able to do in drum and bass and jungle.
That's it, man.
I'm going to make.
It's got to have whatever you do has got to have a long
term, longevity.
That's longevity.
Yeah.
It's got to have longevity.
I think the music as well. Like I come from pleasing people, making bootlegs, playing the bootlegs in the clubs, getting the reactions. When really, like, I feel all of that stuff, it comes and goes so quickly. You don't really realise as an artist when you're making all the bootlegs and you're trying to please everyone, you lose yourself. You lose the sound that you created. For me, I want to write that 10 year, if I can. I would love it if I could write a tune that lasts 10 years, that gets played in the dance for a long time. I'm more about the culture and being part of something. All right, I'm progressing into my things. I take things from here and there, and I'm slowly developing myself. But it'd be great to have loads of money and play all the gigs, but really, I'm not, because I want to do that, but I really want to have an impact on the scene. I want people to go, right, Nicky makes that tune that gets busting a dance for years to come. If I could achieve that, even getting to this sofa now is a bonus for me, because I just wanted, the whole thing was to connect with people, to play the music, and then, because over lockdown, I found it extremely hard. Like I didn't know why. Like I was on these labels, people were pushing me out, they were doing their best, but no one really connected. And then one day, there was a TC post, and a bunch of normal people voted for me and my sound to be something that they liked and they could relate to. I wasn't the best producer, I wasn't this, I wasn't that. They just felt my sound, and that, since then, about 20 people voted for me, and then after that, it just picked up. And that was more what I wanted. I wanted your average person to love the music. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so it's like you say, you're not just appealing to one
or
little
to the DJs. Because, like, don't get me wrong, as I progress as an artist, I will have them dance floor smashers. I will make that disgusting bass line that you're like, where has that come from? But before I get there, I'm going to display all this musicalness that I have. I've got big vocals, I've got instruments, I've got my mate playing trumpet, I've got my dad playing guitar a little bit, mostly my mate, but I've got bits of him playing guitar. I've got, do you know what I mean? There'll be sections in my tunes like where it just sounds like a live band. You know what I mean? For a second, for like about 30 seconds, and then it'll go back into whatever.
When we was having a little muck about earlier, I think I was upstairs and I heard a tune you was playing, and that's exactly what I thought. I was like,
yeah,
what is that? You know what I mean? And it's like you said, it sounded like a band.
I just want to as well encourage other artists to not be scared if their mate's playing the trumpet or if their mate's playing the guitar, to use them in the tune. Not every tune needs the. You got to think, the quicker you make that tune and the quicker it just, so many things come and go with music and production. I feel like
a lot.
Do you know what I mean? If you're making a quick tune, don't expect it to last. It might last, you never know, but if it's just doing 2 or 3 notes with some weird squeaky noise, it's going to be forgotten about very soon.
I think this is the trouble at the minute. There's so many tunes at the moment. There's so many tunes coming through at the moment anyway.
Yeah.
A lot of these tunes that are coming through are, disposable. Do you know what I mean?
This is my point.
So people play them a couple of times, and they're not even playing, a good 2-3 minutes of them. They're playing 30 seconds a minute,
seconds of it,
and then mixing in the next tune. And do you know what? Sometimes that's good. Do you know what I mean? But it's that some producer, whether it's yourself or whoever, has sat there and spent hours upon hours. Making and crafting that tune, for you to play 30 seconds of it.
I know that is the way the music is, but I want to have that. I want to make the tune that you want to double drop it with. That's what I want. I want that everlasting tune that every time the man them go to play their squeaky tune, they'll play it with the nice vocal, the one that the girls want to come dance to, the one that the man them will all, you know what I mean? It will have that. Like now I'm moving into, I would say it's my album. I'm going to put some singles together. I've got a big game plan. A lot of it's vocal based and a lot of it you'll be able to relate to. Eventually you'll have all the wobbly mixes of it. Also I'm doing reggae mixes of the tune.
So let's not be too modest about this.
Yeah.
You are making an album.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Let's get it out.
I am. I've got to that point now where I feel like I've got the music. I've got. Even in myself, I think I had to get to an inside journey to be able to do any of this stuff. Do you know what I mean? I feel if you asked me to do this a year and a half ago, there'll be no way I'd be able to even come here and sit with you. It was over lockdown.
It was just like confidence.
And just being able to. The whole thing about the album is just to appreciate life. It's in all the vocals. I've spoken to the vocalists. I've directed them into what I want to talk about. It's about gratitude. It's about just being grateful and just, you know what I mean. The whole. It's got that jungle vibe to it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like, and that's, it's not an official name at the minute, but the potential name for the album is
The Connection.
There you go. And for that very reason that we've just been talking about.
Yeah, honestly, and it feels good to talk to you about it, Gary, because I can sit at home and interview myself as much as I want in the bath, but I really want to be able to get the word out, make sure people understand what it is that I'm doing, make sure that they know I'm coming across properly, and I've got a story to tell, and the music is just going to uplift you. It's going to make you feel good.
When I was in the studio
and screw up your face.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's it. That's the vibe.
When we was in the studio and he played me them few bits from the album, just literally all he's doing is he's just teasing me. He's saying, this is what you can't have. This is what you could have won.
Well, it's more that I need, wicked, even man. Down to when you guys were in there, I knew that playing you a little bit of it, because I don't want everyone to hear it just unless I'm playing it, you know what I mean? Because I've spent the last 2 years giving my records to all the other DJs to play. And now it's my turn.
Yeah.
I used to do it before. Why can't I do it again? Like, and what's great is the drum and bass and jungle people, fraternity, all the heads, all the crew. They've been so warming. They're like where I used to think, oh man, drum and bass people, they might get a bit funny, and they've just been nice. They've asked me to join things. Like I've spoken with TC, I've spoken with Hazard, I've spoken to so many other, like Sigma, just everyone. They're just it's all out there for any other drum and bass people. You've got to play. One of it's playing the game, but really, you have to show other people that you're there. Consistency in any producer in any genre of music is there. Like once you start putting out, all right, you've got a big tune on a big label, and then in a year's time, nothing's happened. If you're still not banging on about I've got more music, and you just give up because you think that's the biggest tune that you, it's just not going to work like that. These people want to see you work hard, know that you're going to be there at the end of it. Do you know what I mean? Like always, it's about the culture, it's about the music, it's about bringing other people up as well as yourself, because that's the only way it works.
Yeah.
It's a massive community.
Of course.
And you just got to be safe. That's it.
I mean, you know, this is why I like you, Nicky, because you know what, you're such a friendly guy. I remember the first time we met, mate, you was like, hello, Garry, how you doing, mate? And all the rest of it. And then, like I said, there's some DJs, there's some MCs and whatever else that they'll see you and they look down on you and think, well, you know what, you're a minnow, I'm a big fish, so you know what, I don't really talk to you. You know, you'd be lucky if you get a spud off them.
I'm sure a lot of these guys, in circumstances, they're not like that. But half of me thinks maybe I should, not like to, you know, in general things, like all those guys are successful. I've always looked at them and thought, do you have to be moody to be successsul? And I'm like, nah. Look at the nice people in the scene. Look,
that's what I'm saying. It ain't all of them.
It ain't all of them.
You know,
like
I said, the last show we did was with Alex from Easy Rollers.
Yeah.
Lovely guy.
Lovely
do you know what
guy,
I mean? And I honestly couldn't speak. I can't say a bad word about him. Couldn't speak highly enough about him. Same as J-Line.
Yeah.
He was a guest before that.
J-Line's awesome, man.
That's what I mean, man. He's another geezer that's he's reached out. And do you know what? Oh, do you know what? I've heard of this Garry. I want to meet him. Do you know what I mean? And that's lovely for me. Like I said, I'm not no big fish. You know what I mean? I'm a small fry.
But still, I think that's where it. Honestly, in any sort of music, that's where the ground is built. Honestly, like from the very bottom upwards, you should actually realise your position in all this. You help people in the scene. Look, I'm here. This is going to help me loads. I get to tell my story. Anyone else that doesn't realise that. Do you know what I mean? That's down to them and their attitude. But honestly, this is a good thing, man. All this stuff that you're doing is amazing. I
appreciate that,
and it will help, and it does connect, and it will do, man.
That's lovely, man. So you're obviously we sort of spoke about the album. I can 100% tell you what I've heard is absolutely banging. And you know what? I'm hoping that when it gets to that point where Nicky's ready to release it, he's going to send me a copy. You some but do you know what, mate? It's that good. I'm going to go out and support it and buy it anyway, because it is honestly, like I said, I've only heard little bits and not every track, not whole of track, but what I've heard was amazing. I absolutely loved it. And that's not just me buttering you up or anything. I would tell you, oh, you know what? I didn't really feel that one, but you know, if nothing else, I'm honest.
You know what? Regarding the label, so it's going to be Nightshift presents Jungle Connection, and Jungle Connection is going to be its own entity. So just how you'd have, I don't know, for example, King Youth or Chopstick. When I release this stuff, it will be Nightshift presents, or like you've got Chase and Status presents Return to Jungle or something like that.
So essentially, Jungle Connections is your new sound. It's your
the
new
sound,
label.
Yeah, and I think I'm not too sure. So I'm still whether it should actually just be say Jungle Connection. I should start again, or whether I'm going to include my name. So all of this is being done as we speak. You know what I mean? I'm still, because I've got Nightshift up there. One of my mates is like, why would you release it underneath another name? Do you know what I mean? Because I have literally worked my arse off, but it is my sound.
I mean, as a label, I think Jungle Connections, do you know what I mean? That works. That's brilliant. I mean, you know, you don't. I might be wrong.
Miss, yeah.
You know, you don't see DJ Hype presents True Players,
exactly.
Or you know what I mean? Ronnie Size presents.
So
Full
there you
Cycle.
go. I'm still working all of that working it out now.
And that's the other beauty thing about it, is you say if I said to you Full Cycle, who would you say?
Ronnie Size.
Exactly, you know that. If I said Players,
then you would say Hype. Yeah.
exactly.
And so forth. Yeah, I'd say there you go, Matt. I'm just working all of that out. I'm trying to make sure all the dots connect and I can get into the right scenario and make the most of it, because look, you'll hear it in the music, like you have done as well. It's going to connect. I've aimed it to be able to connect to everyone, not just one type of person that goes to a club. You'll be able to listen to my music, listen to it everywhere, and listen to it in the club. And that's really what I wanted to aim for.
It's like you say, it's one of them things where, do you know what, you will be able to listen to it in the club, in the mix, but then it's also an album where you'll be able to listen to it, and because you're not just making tunes, you're making songs.
Songs, yeah.
And so, you can sit
Some
in the
of them
car
are will be flat out club tunes, and I have got a couple of tunes which I haven't played today. They're all just sitting there because I think I'm going to use the big vocal ones to hook everyone in, so they can sing along and they can dance to the dirty bass lines. And then I'm going to hit them with more ruder stuff as it goes on over the next year. The first single will probably be out in a couple of months, I hope. The artwork's being done, all of it coming together. I'm featuring a guy called Sam O.T.
Yeah.
He's from Jamaica. Really, really, really good artist. I can't speak.
That was the thing you showed me earlier, wasn't it?
Yeah. So I can't speak more highly of that man. He's a bad man. You'll hear him in the jungle drum and bass scene a lot because his vocal skills are just amazing. And I've got a whole heap of other artists, but I don't, because that's the first single. I'll talk about that one. Don't want to show all your cards at once. Yeah, but I'm playing a few tunes. But remember, even if I could play 30 minutes of my own tunes, that's just half or a quarter of the music. So, do you know what I mean? I've still got heaps of it at home that I'm going to play, which no one's heard of yet. Plus, I've also got a release that's out next Friday on Device, Rennie LeVice's label.
That was the one I played
That's
earlier,
the one you played
was it I think it's next Friday.
Next Friday,
the 6th of August.
Yeah.
Rennie LeVice on the label Device.
Device, yeah.
And the track entitled is Move On.
Move Me.
Move Me, sorry.
Yeah.
So, do you know what? Get yourself a copy of that.
Yeah.
That was the first tune I played earlier on, just before I went into the mix for the 20-minute mix. And do you know what? Just to recap, the second tune was yourself and Spider.
Yeah.
And the name was...
Attention.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah, and it's quite fun. It's ironic that is the tune that got everyone's attention, because it was called Attention. And Benny put out an EP of mine and 2 other releases, and we were like, why is no one listening? It literally felt, over lockdown, it felt like that. It got to that point where I was just, and I got to take my hat off to Benny Page for just seeing it all the way through and making sure that all my releases went out. I'm Dub Shotter for life, forever. I've really got to say that.
Man, big up Benny.
Yeah, big up Benny, man. Thank you. Also, the Prototypes, they were the first people to put me on. I haven't spoken to them in a long time, and I hope I get to connect with them again. But Get Hype, they put me on and they supported me for a long, long time. So thank you, guys. I never really get to say thank you. And anyone else that's asked me to do a remix, played any of my music, I can't thank you enough for spreading the word and just getting the name, getting it out there. That's all I want. Anything else that happens is a bonus. Going into a dance, hearing my tune, waking up in the morning, seeing about 3 DJs playing my tune in different environments is amazing. When I get to play it, it will be incredible. But let me do it. Come on, someone. I'm there. I'm ready. Let's go.
Yeah. Nicky's Nightshift's available for bookings, and so am I, by the way.
Yeah.
Thank you. Just get that one in. So do you know what? There's that. Obviously, that's the album. There's which is in the making at the moment.
Yeah.
And the label, which and the Sound Jungle Connections, which is something we need to look out for in the future going forward.
Yeah. All the socials are up. If you follow me, there's loads of posts of me talking about Jungle Connection. I'm about to launch it in the next few weeks. I'm getting all the artwork done, so soon it will get played. And I'm just excited for it. I've been making reggae mixes of the jungle tunes, and that has also been the most exciting thing I've done recently.
But do you know what? I've yet to hear these. And
Yeah,
I really want to hear
I
them,
definitely want to approach David Rodigan with some of this music, because I just got a feeling he's going to love it. At least some of my pals that have listened to it, and they're like, "You should play this to David Rodigan." I'm like, "Yeah." I'd love to, you know. What I mean?
Do you know what? He's a legend, isn't he, David Rodigan? Ram Jam.
His son used to share the studio with me back in the day.
Yeah, you said he's only round the corner from you, isn't he?
Yeah.
Up your way.
Yeah, up in Acton.
So, the question that's on everyone's minds, right? Nightshift.
Yeah.
Where did it come from, man?
Where did Nightshift? So, in my normal day job or night job, I'm a security guard. I'm like a supervisor, and when I first started doing my work, I was doing the night shifts at night, but I've always been a night person when I make music. So at these jobs I was doing, this is a long time ago, it doesn't count for my work that I do now. But back then I'd be able to take my laptop in and my keyboard and my headphones and my sub pack, and I'd make tunes at work. There was one job where it was just an empty building, so they were like, "Do what you want, just don't leave." I was like, "Great." And there was like 2 little tiny speakers. I just turned up making videos, just doing sound design for like 12 hours straight, and also making money. So at that time I was just like, well, I'm doing the night shifts, and this is basically how it works. And I think as I go on, I'm not really the graveyard shift guy, but I don't, do you know what I mean? Back then I'd be up till the very last hour making music.
While you're getting paid
While
to do
I'm
something
getting
else.
paid to do something else, yeah. But honestly, if I didn't do it, the music wouldn't sound as good now.
Yeah.
And it all just unravelled. I just, lately I've learnt to appreciate my process and whatever that happens to me, you know what I mean? Before I'd be like, I have to get here, it has to be like this. And now I'm just like, great, you like it, let's go. You don't, that's fair, that's all good, just whatever, let's just move on anyway. Do you know what I mean? That's more, as I've got older, I think, yeah.
I think as you get older, you care less about what other people think
Basically,
anyway,
and more, and I think once you get that as a producer, once you start to realise, I haven't got to compete with everyone making the stupidest noise in the world. That's not where my journey leads to. Don't get me wrong, I like all that stuff, and you will hear me playing all of that music with my music, because some of the producers out there, they're phenomenal, and what they do is fantastic, and I will get down to doing that. But I just feel like at this moment in time, I can offer people stuff that not a lot of the other guys are doing, you know what I mean?
That's it, it's being original and
Just
doing
being
something
original,
different,
making more of a stamp, like connecting with the vocalists out there, who are amazing. Like, I've got to thank all the people that are working with me at the minute, showing me love, even like Spider and just Demolition Man, all these other guys that are working or I'm aspiring to work to. Thank you for voicing all my stuff. It really helps me to craft what I'm doing and express myself, because when I'm sitting there making the songs, or if I'm working with an artist, I usually express how I feel, or we connect on something, and I can write the lyrics, I can play the piano, we can sing songs, all of that stuff. Do you know what I mean? It's for me, and what is said is usually comes from a place that I'm in.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's because I'm great with that stuff. If I sit with someone in a studio session, I can nice them up and get the best energy out of them. Just by being safe and understanding what they're saying. Even when I don't like what they're saying, I can still guide them into a way, especially if you hear Jungle Connection stuff, it will be very rare where the vocal will have a negative output. If it doesn't make you feel good, it's not really going to connect through me, you know what I mean?
Mate, I love that. I really
and that's
do,
it, you know. I don't mind thinky vocals, it's fine, but I think I'm at a stage in my life where if I'm going out to dance, we need to be smiling at each other. and that vocal needs to be making me happy. It might be able to make me think maybe if I lost someone and I'm trying to get a connection back with them, maybe that could be a story point. But anything more negative than that, you won't hear it come from me. It won't make you think. You won't have a desire, whatever. Do you know what I mean? It'll be more about how much fun we can have. Let's smile and dance and be a rude boy and just skank out in a corner. You know, I take my inspiration from King Youth. I take it from Shy Effects, Breakage, Sigma, Taxman. There's like, I hope I don't miss anyone out because there are like Gary G, you know what I mean?
Seriously.
All those prototypes, all them man there, you know what I mean?
But it's epic now. These are, you know, like you said, a lot of these people were your peers growing up. You was listening to these people.
Chasing Status, all them mans, you know what I mean?
And
it's just, I listened to all of that stuff and I've collected what it is that I've liked about it. And believe me, I've gone in and out. I've tried stuff, I haven't got there. But slowly now, it's just great. I can play some music and everyone's like, what is that music? You know, it's the only real place you're going to hear it is if I play it. And that's it, really, until I get to a stage where I'm going to release some of this music myself or I'm going to put it out with other people.
Yeah.
But what makes me feel good is that I've got to that stage now where my peers or, you know, my idols have now turned around and said, that's a wicked tune, you know what I mean?
And
Reddy LeVice, that geezer has supported me since I started putting out tunes on Get Hype, and he's played, I'd say, I mean, not every time he's played a tune though, the name hasn't been said right, someone's missed something out, and you can get to that peak. And you know, I've been a producer, so one of the best things about being a producer is that you get the buzz from them reading your name out.
Yeah.
And when they get that wrong, you're just like,
mate, do you know what? Let me apologise now because I am terrible with names. Honestly, this is why I've called myself. Well, I've called myself. It's my mum and dad actually. But this is why I'm Garry G and not something that I'm not too sure what it says because I'm terrible. I really am. Yeah, I mean, Nightshift's a fairly easy one to go with. But there's a lot of artists out there, and you look at the name, and you're like, is that this?
See,
or is
I
that
know these people don't do it on, you know what I mean? But it's, all of that stuff, I think sometimes you've just got to try and, especially when you sat there and, because it's a result. Say I didn't know you, but you played my tune, and I saw this myself at home because I have watched a few at home. And I even said to my girlfriend, one day I'm going to do that. I did say, here
you are.
It's like a lot with that drum and bass. I think it's all willing it, you know, like if your intentions are right and you're a fucking nice person, it will come out in the music. And that's what it is. If you're an angry person, the music will just be angry all the time. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it takes a while to understand it, to appreciate it, and just to learn how to get what's inside of you out through the speakers to relate to everyone. Do you know what I mean? Not just have one dynamic where you play a tune in a club and then that's it. Do you know what I mean? And I will make tunes like that. It just takes time, you know what I mean?
So I've got two questions for you.
Yeah.
Before I'll let you jump up there if you don't mind.
I would love
to the guest mix. The first question is what advice would you give to up-and-coming DJs, up-and-coming producers?
The advice I would give to an up-and-coming DJ and producer, I would say consistency is key. From when you start putting your name out there, make sure you do it all the time. Do it because you love it. And when you fail, think to yourself, I've failed. I'm somewhere. Not I've failed, oh my God, no one likes this. Because I didn't do that. I did what I'm telling you not to do. I've done everything I've told you, I'm telling you now, I've done it the opposite way. So if I can help anyone, just be consistent, you know, be grateful, share things. You know, like, don't share your sounds and shit, but share your knowledge, you know, to a certain point. and just be on it and consistent. When I say consistent, you start putting a post up, you've got nothing to talk about one week, take a picture of yourself, put that tune in the background. I don't know, like, just keep going, show to your peers that you're not going to leave. Like, be part of the culture. Don't think, oh, I'm going to do this for money, because it ain't about money.
I think if you're doing it for money, you're in the wrong game.
You're in the wrong game, man. If you go into a thing thinking, I'm going to go and get the most out of this and it's going to pay me and this, that and the other, you're better off getting a job, mate. I'm just basically, yeah. And that's not me saying that because I'm not trying to put anyone off it. I'm just being realistic. And also, have a part-time job, because your girl ain't going to like you. No one's going to like you if you ain't got no dough in your pocket. Even if you've got one day a week or something, you know, I'm talking to you, that producer that's looking at me, smoking weed, sitting on a sofa, not doing this. Just get up, get a part-time job. Go and make your girl, make your mum happy. That's who counts. And remember to look up in life, because sometimes you'll look down and at your work for so long that if you don't look up, everything will fly by you. And everyone will be like, oh, it's just him sitting in his room banging on beats, not to himself, because he doesn't play it to anyone. Play your music to someone, ask someone respectful. People will help you. If you've got the good energy and you feel good about yourself, because that's what you have to do in order to be able to speak to people and make them feel good, you have to feel good yourself. And without that, you're just in your room still, you know what I mean? So.
Well, do you know what? That's a wicked bit of advice.
I think so. And that's
you
from
know.
personal experiences, you know, like not understanding any of that, just not, you know, trying to develop yourself and get a sound takes time. Remember that. It doesn't, finding out that you really love really wobbly sounds, but you're not quite there, take your time. It's not running away. It's literally not running away. And when it's right, it's right.
And like you were talking about, failure is part of success.
It is. Learn to appreciate failure. You failed, all right, I'm somewhere. And you might call it a failure. Someone else would be like, that's not a failure, mate. What are you talking about? You've done this, this and this. And you're like, well, I've been doing, this has been on the cards for like, how long? Like, it's just, nah.
And on that note, I'm going to give my piece of advice to the audience, which is always try and pick a positive out of things. Doesn't matter what situation you're in. It could be a death in the family or whatever. Try and pick a positive. There will be a positive to come out of it. And when you're in the forest, you never see the wood for the trees.
No, you don't.
You know, so just remember that there is something beyond what you're seeing right now in front of you today. There is a tomorrow, and you don't know what tomorrow's going to bring, and you don't know. You know, the people that are around you that you love, tell them. Go and tell them now. To say, do you know what, love, I love you. Or ring up your mum or your brother or your dad or whoever it is, and just let them know. Do you know what? Do you know what? I love you. I love you. And don't think, oh, do you know what? I'm a big man. I don't say I love you to no one. Do it. You know what? It's free, and. If you was to do that now, if you was to get on the phone and call up your mum or your dad and turn around and say that to them, I guarantee you'd absolutely
or your
make
brother
their day.
or mates,
Absolutely.
anyone. Do you know what I mean? That's important.
So it's like I said, it's about just making the most of the time you've got, because you don't know when that time's going to be up.
Yeah, that's it. And just being great, you know, like half of this stuff, some of these music producers, they'll piss and they'll moan. I know, I've been one of them, and some of my journey, I just feel like maybe if I understood my process, because sometimes as a producer, you're just one thing, I've got to get there, and everything else just gets removed, you know what I mean? Because you're like, I can get there. It's like, all right,
you're in your zone,
mate,
aren't you?
You're in your zone, but like, that zone can last years, it can last a little bit of time, but if you're not looking up and appreciating what's around, telling people that, because that's the biggest. Without the people around you backing you up, there is no you doing it properly. Yeah. So, like you said, tell someone you love them, that you appreciate them, and show them that without them, you can't do any of this. Do you you know what I mean? You can't. You literally cannot. You have to tell people that. And they don't know because they think, oh, mate, he's in his own little world. He don't care. Look at him. He doesn't even look up all the time. But you do, and you know that you do. So you've got to do stuff like that.
You know that.
It's important, man.
Don't wait until you need something to call someone.
Yeah.
That's
don't wait till the last minute because you might not get that chance, you know.
That's it. Just and there's so many times like that. I'm gonna wrap things up now. I've got one more question I'm gonna ask you.
Yeah.
And this may get cut out and it may not get cut out. I don't know. We may not even get that far. You know, we might just get the intro. But it's a really important question, and it's one it's quite deep, if I'm honest with you.
Right.
You know, brace yourself. But do you have pineapple on your pizza?
No, don't have no pineapple, man. I'm not a pineapple guy, man.
That's all right. Well, in that case, get off my stage.
All right. Salute.
Nicky, thank you so much, mate.
Thank you, Gary, man.
Honestly,
means the world.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you very much.
And yeah, do you know what? Please grace the decks.
Play some of these bad boy tunes.
And get these tunes on. I want to hear them, man.
Big up, brother.
Thank you, mate.
Appreciate
thank you.
it.
Right, thank you, Liz. Thank you from the sofa. That was the interview, as you may have guessed. Coming up next, we have got Nightshift in the mix. Special guest mix. Hope you enjoy this.
Talking a war. Hear me no rude boy, hear me no star. Real bad man, I'm no talking a war. Hear me no rude boy, hear me no star. Nightshift kill some boy in a war. Hear me no rude boy, hear me no star. Real bad man, I'm no talking a war. Hear me no rude boy, hear me no star. Real bad man, I'm no war. See we in a day, them see we at night. Reaching at the place with a hood on a bike. See we in a day, them see we at night. Nobody not live, just talking a war. See we in a day, them see we at night. Reaching at the place with a hood on a bike. See we in a day, them see we at night. Nobody not live, just talking a war. Them not see me no roll for more. The real and rap when you're not a living on tour. Do they come to feel like public and sometimes people see you dancing and see you out of your mind. And to them no know when they find a whole life. With a from your wicked when you stand on the side. From the take it and give it up, take it all right. When the weekend come and let the whole world grind.
To the left, to the right, to the back, to the side.
Three, two, one.
See we in a day, them see we at night. Reaching at the place with a whole ton of vibes. See we in a day, them see we at night. Nobody not leave, so dance as you like. See we in a day, them see we at night. Reaching at the place with a whole ton of vibes. See we in a day, them see we at night. Nobody not leave, so dance as you like. Baseline penetrate, it's a cheater. Inna your chest, make your heart skip a beat. Deep inna the trenches, we long for release. Cap on the dance floor, that a few we buckle feel. Dance with the king or you dance with your queen. If you don't have one, then send to your team. Year after year, it's a the soul we are seeing. Got anything we hear it. Run away.
Say we not gonna flip, we not flop. Connection, them a bring that. Love it like that. Say we a gonna launch an attack sound system, we a play that. Love it like that. Say we not gonna flip, we not flop. Connection, them a bring that. Love it like that. Say we a gonna launch an attack sound system, we a play that. Say I better listen to the man. The jungle connection out of England. Music that a come from the capital of one. Connect all the dot to the one London. Hail up to the Dan Gargan. A big up me teacher, the one Asman. Spar band song with the one Danaman. A big up the man, we are the session like that. Say we not gonna flip, we not flop. Action, them a bring that. Love it like that. Say we a gonna launch in a that sound system. Love it like that. Say we not gonna flip, we not flop. Action, them a bring that. Love it like that. Say we a gonna launch in a that sound system.
Check the situation, them a situation. Crown Crush Junglist. As we come down, we touch this, we smash this.
Junglist alone and the bad mind friend. We say fire burn, pan all the dirty man them. Junglist a come and fi mash it up again. We say respect to all the junglist then. Junglist alone and the bad mind friend. We say fire burn. Junglist a come and fi mash it up again.
I hope you see as well as me when the lights are out. Because if you don't, you are a dead man.
somewhere, take, oh, 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 I miss you. I still miss you. Ooh, oh, oh, take me somewhere far away from here, from here. Take me somewhere far away from here, from here. Take me somewhere far away from here, from here. You let me go. You
inside us, I do it.
Make the motherfucker go.
go put me at where me hand can go reach. Like me teacher them this teaching, and me start believe, and I say me can achieve. Now blessings I receive, and I can take clothes if you wear on with feet. Life expensive, but we not go cheap. Nightshift fast song boy expire. Nightshift a kill sound, them kill them every night and day. Anytime they don't play, them start fire up. Nightshift got all the information under situation. Nightshift say killing them not a secret. Me never want to deal with, but me have to reveal it. Them want step to you and them heart just a beat like a jump. Do me can't believe it. Them try to tell you, but words are with them shatter. I mean no one them feel like you a talker. And we a murder son boy, them a get slaughtered. Now disguise like Peter Parker. Yeah. Night shift pass on boy expire. Him a kill sound, him a kill them every night and day. Anytime him dub play, them start fire. Night shift got all the information.
What you know about rolling down in the deep? Down in the deep. Rolling down in the deep. Down in the deep. What you know about rolling deep? Down in the deep. What you know about rolling?
Any sound try test, we a go beat it. Them and them fame, we delete it. That means we crush them completely. Bad boy, and you know it's not no secret. In this session we kill them so easy. And you know say yeah, that really please me. Some boy try disrespect from what here, and you know say yeah, that really crazy. So we say die, you little son boy. Shouldn't disrespect and know you are gonna die. You little son boy. You shoulda never ever try. Yo, die, you little son boy. Shoulda never disrespect, now you die. You little son boy. We have to wave them bye-bye. But bye, we beat it up and rapid. That mean we give them about 10 piece of leather. Me no know is how some sound going to manage. When we check it out, yo, them soft like porridge. If I don't play at school, we run the college. Sound clash business, we have the knowledge. Sound boy test them, get brain damage. They don't really know it, so them please to manage. You little sound boy, children disrespect, I know you are gonna die. You little sound boy, you shoulda never ever try. Yo, you little sound boy, shoulda never disrespect, now you die. You little sound boy, we have to wave them back.
super drum and bass. Don't have my money up on the case. It's a music you're looking for. We see me happy here. We make a foot skank, make a finger hand in here. And if I come up here, spot man feel the in here. When the place gets so up, we need a fan in here. When we play drum and bass, yes, it's instantly. When the bassline, 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 bassline.
And we dangerous. We armed and we dangerous. Now soon we are run and them a get nervous. As we armed and we
Because them keeping a dance and they want way up there. Promoter for the dance, them have videos right on here. On the airline, they coulda take we right there. On a 4-hour drive to the next one we there. We go back on we word and then we start flip it here. One change of clothes and two underwear. Anything else we have.
I wasn't looking for you, boy. You didn't turn my head, but now I want you in my bed. You are the reason why my choice.
until I had a taste. Now I need to eat the whole damn cake. My memories are hazy, but I know you couldn't let me go. Nothing else can phase me, so fill me in on what I need to know. In the night, I want to own you. In the night, in the night, in the dark, I need the whole of you. In the night, in the night, in the dark.
Right, thank you so much, Nicky. That was, do you know what, mate? I proper
pal.
enjoyed that. I proper enjoyed the interview. I proper enjoyed the mix.
Yeah.
That was absolutely awesome.
Thanks for having us down.
Thank you to everyone that's liked, shared, commented, subscribed, whatever it is you do. Do you know what? I appreciate being given the platform by Worldwide Drum and Bass Show to be here today, as I always do. And do you know what? This is something that's absolutely epic. I mean, you look around the surroundings we've got. There is nothing like this, and you know what? I absolutely love it. Like I said, it's been a pleasure having you on it. We've been so lucky. We've had, you know, working backwards, we've had Nightshifts, Easy Rollers, J-Line and Funky Flirt. There's 4 huge artists that we've had the privilege of having on the show, and do you know what? I'm humbled that I've been given the opportunity to do this. I think there's going to be 1, maybe 2 more shows, I'm not too sure, but I will tell you now, the last show of this series that we're going to do is going to be a big one. It's going to be an epic one. It's going to be somebody where if we wouldn't be here today doing what we're doing, where we're doing it, if it wasn't for that person. That's all I'm going to say. Keep it locked. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, and also if you get an opportunity, check out my website, all the W's, garryg.co.uk. Garry with 2 R's, don't forget. Thank you so much for listening. It's been an absolute pleasure. I will see you on the other side. Thanks again, Nicky.
Thank you very much, Garry. Appreciate you.
Bless up. Next time. Thank you.